Most embarrassing moment of this week. I, a single 20-year-old with no children, went to a movie theater alone and asked for one ticket to Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken. Why did I do this? Last year, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish blew everyone out of the water. One of the best movies of the year, my personal favorite, coming out of nowhere, a sequel to a movie I forgot existed. And now, in 2023, all eyes are on DreamWorks to see what is next. That's depressing. But before we got word of Trolls, one movie announcement piqued my interest. And that was Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken. I was incredibly open-minded for this and even just excited. Just like I was for Lightyear and Strange World. And as time passed, the movie got very little advertising, and reviews came out, and the box office was not doing great. But I mean, that doesn't mean the movie is bad. Movies like Treasure Planet, Lost Empire, and Emperor's New Groove were all in that same situation, and those are some of my favorite Disney movies. Heck, The Flash came out in the same boat, and that ended up being my favorite DCU movie. Fight me. And who knows, maybe this will be a Chicken Little or Shark Tale situation where it's so bad it's good. So, having seen the movie, which side of the spectrum does it fall on? Neither. Ruby Gillman is the most boring movie I've seen all year. This was such a big disappointment. I wanted to like this, I really did. I was probably the only person that I actually knew that was excited to see this. And it's not bad enough to be good, but it's not good enough to be good either. And you know what? Since the Steam Summer Sale is going on right now, I'm just going to show a list of games that you can buy for the money that I paid for a ticket for this movie while I talk. Ruby Gillman is about a teenage Kraken who is trying to keep her Kraken heritage a secret from the rest of the town. After a misstep in the ocean, she grows into a giant Kraken and has to find her way with her mother and her grandmother. If that sounds like turning red, it's because it is. And she meets a mermaid that looks strangely like Ariel. Kaiju battle ensues. Notice how I haven't said anything that you couldn't derive from the trailers? This plot is entirely too predictable, and it just sucks. If you think this is going to be like a satire on Disney like Shrek, don't. It's a bare bones replica of what Disney's recent output has been, and honestly can pass as an Illumination film. That's not to say that everything in the movie was bad, but nothing was good enough to warrant seeing the movie. For example, the characters. They're all pretty likable. Heck, a lot of the side characters are actually really fun. For example, Ruby's love interest is just kind of this awkward boy that just kind of reminds me of Max and Roxanne from Goofy Movie, and I'm personally all for that. There's a Kraken hunting sailor guy who's hilarious. He steals the show in every scene he's in. Her dad is fun, her little brother is annoying beyond all belief, and her uncle is incompetent beyond all belief. If there is one breakaway from the norm that this movie has to offer, it's that the male characters don't suck. There's really not an annoying character that gets too much screen time, and that's also kind of a fault. None of the best characters in the movie get enough screen time, and it's sad. And there was a handful of unlikable characters, typically just Ruby's squad, with this Wednesday clone, a gay girl, and a goth guy. And they're pretty annoying, but they're barely in the movie, so I guess the door swings both ways. And that leaves Ruby, her mom, and grandma, and their dynamic is so interesting, it's Moana. Gen 1 trains Gen 3, much to the disapproval of Gen 2. It's Moana. It's not bad, but it's been done to death and is so boring. This mermaid girl tries to play off as a twist villain. Sure. The animation is pretty good, actually. I like the Kraken when they're in their human form. They're all squishy, and the film is creative enough with how they move. But under the water, it doesn't look bad. But The Sea in Finding Nemo was so much better, and that movie is 20 years old now. And the giant Krakens, they straight up look like they're still in mid-render. They don't look Shark Tale or Chicken Little bad, but they are pretty bad. Okay, what else? There's a Numi Bozu reference. That probably couldn't have come in at a better time. And a Titanic reference. That probably couldn't have come in at a worse time. And yeah, that's all you need to know about Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken. Definitely the most disappointed I've been in a movie in a while. I mean, there was so much potential. Hopefully I've saved you 2 hours and have interested you with something on the Steam store more worth your time. You can thank me by sending money to this address. My name is AJ Plays, and my wallet's about to hurt.